a place for palliative care for cancer patients in India. Ganga Prem Hospice is managed by a dedicated team of trained doctors, nurses, social workers and allied therapists with one common vision.
Ganga Prem Hospice is actually spiritually oriented philanthropist, non-for-profit organization. Our focus is always providing holistic care to terminally ill cancer patients.
Ganga Prem Hospice की philosophy है that the patient should get palliative care, hospice care with a spiritual aspect woven into it.
The spiritual side of a person can be dealt with anywhere, and often it has to be. But there are certain places which are beneficial, which help, they make the spiritual stronger. And that is the tears, and that is especially, this is the holy places, and especially by Gangaji.
Ganga Prem Hospice is located at the midpoint of Haridwar and Rishikesh, offering calm, healing serenity to combat the gruesome reality of end-stage cancer.
Palliative care is specialized medical care in any life-threatening illness, and the focus is on improving the quality of life. Hospice care is actually an extension of the palliative care.
A hospice is where symptomatic care management happens, where emotional care happens, where a lot of attention is given to the individual.
With a hospice care, you are not hastening death. You are not postponing death. You are giving a good quality of life till the time the person is alive.
In India, cancer is the leading cause of death, affecting over 1.4 million patients and their families.
We have sometimes destitute patients, and we sometimes have very poor patients. And if they don't have anyone, they have us. They always have their family, which is Ganga Prem.
They need to be reached because patients who need palliative care, who need hospice care are everywhere. They are not confined to 3 or 4 or even 10 cities.
Medical is a huge part of it, but it's not just that. You know, these people, they know what are they going to do, how are they going to get their daughters married, how are the kids going to go to school, you know, what are we going to eat, now what are we going to do? I have this rin and that rin. So we can't hand out money like that because we don't have it, but we can do a lot. We give rations, we help people to maybe get jobs, or you know, sometimes we give sewing machine to some lady and teach her how to sew. We've got 15 children in school, and some of them are bright. They would never have had a chance. So this is palliative care. The family is also part of palliative care. Not just the patient, but his whole family, because he needs to die comfortably.
In a Ganga Prem Hospice Cancer Clinic, they can request for home care or hospice care. Everything is free of charge for patients here, whether it's the nursing care, medicines, everything. One carer of the patient can stay at the hospice, that is also free of charge. So our services are for everybody, whether it's a rich person or anybody who comes from non-privileged or underprivileged backgrounds.
Palliative care is not just limited to the patient, but also to their family and caretakers.
They need support. They need someone who empathizes with them. They've been suffering for a long time with cancer. They've been fighting cancer. Now they've reached a point where they have to succumb to the disease.
Palliative care movement started in the 1940s in the West, but within India, it's still in its nascent stages. That in itself creates challenges.
Hospice is new to India. People don't always understand the concept of hospice. But what happens at the moment with these 4 stages of cancer, the first stage is sort of curable, the second and third stage are treatable, but the 4th stage is not treatable. People arrive they come to an oncologist in the 4th stage, he can't do anything. There are hundreds of thousands of people in India that die in agony. Palliative care, of course, is for all terminal illnesses. We are specializing in cancer, although we see other patients as well. But the hospitals can't handle them. Even the cancer hospitals, there's no room. They have room for people they can treat. They don't have room for people they can't treat. So what happens to people who are screaming in agony? And what happens to people who are facing death? There's no help. There really is no help. Without palliative care and hospice, people take them home. They don't know how to manage. There are patients here. They have wounds full of maggots, big stinky maggots. The people don't know what to do with them at home. They have no idea. It's too painful, too horrific, the last stage of cancer. So palliative care and hospice is needed.
I think Ganga Prem Hospice is doing something which is an unmet need of the country. Not just of this region, which obviously it is, but also for the country. If we count on our fingers, we can't count more than 10 hospices across the country. And if we look at Uttarakhand, I think this is the only center which is offering any type of care for terminally ill cancer patients. These patients don't need to go to Delhi or Mumbai or big cities to get care. Care has to be delivered near their homes or at their homes. And this is what Ganga Prem Hospice does.
While there may be many problems, but we at Ganga Prem Hospice aim to be part of the solution.
Our 5 main programs, services at the hospice, of course, are the inpatient and the outpatient clinics and the home care program. But we also have the bereavement and rehabilitation program, which is to rehabilitate families who've lost the one that earns money for them. And under this, the education program also comes, where we educate bereaved children. The 5th program that we have is awareness and training. So they're doing in the whole area, the medical colleges send their nurses and doctors to us to be trained in palliative care, to understand what palliative care is. And this is a palliative care training. So this, we have volunteers coming, social workers coming, lay people coming. They come to the hospice to see, and we also go to colleges and schools and talk about palliative care, about how it is needed in society, how it's something that is not being covered properly.
Ganga Prem Hospice offers home care services to patients free of charge. Palliative care visits by a specialized nurse who is trained specifically for cancer patients. This facility is available in Haridwar, Rishikesh and Dehradun all week round, 6 days a week. We've had more than 1,500 terminally ill cancer patients who have benefited from the home care service. For the inpatient facilities, any cancer patient who is terminally ill can get admitted and get 24/7 palliative nursing care, consultation from a specialist physician, oncological consultation, and stay at the hospice free of charge. And now with your help, we can begin to achieve our vision for Ganga Prem Hospice.
Our first objective, of course, is that the level of care that is provided at the hospice should continue to improve and go higher and higher.
If we have funds, we'll be able to complete the West Wing and add 10 more beds for patients, so it becomes a 25-bedded facility.
As the only hospice in the state of Uttarakhand, it serves patients within a 200-kilometer radius. So it is very important that the services go further.
Our long-term vision is, as Ganga Prem Hospice in Rishikesh, we want in every single town. We started earlier, so we are kind of the first in palliative care. So we have the very lucky position of being able to teach and inspire other people to do this work.
In order to function optimally, the daily requirements need to be met. The hospice runs on medicines and surgical supplies. It requires nutritional support, dry rations, supplements. It needs a good infrastructure, safe computing platforms, so that the databases of patients are accessible during an emergency. There is a huge amount of support that can be provided in kind to Ganga Prem Hospice.
With charities like ours, there are two wings. One wing is the people we're helping, and the other wing is the people that we require help from. We are the facilitators in the middle. We will do the service, but we need you to support us.
We need funds for smooth running of the hospice. We need manpower, good manpower, who is actually dedicated and can work with empathy. Every
single rupee, every penny counts. Every hour that you devote working for the hospice, whether it's something that you're doing remotely or whether it's something that you're doing here at the hospice, even when you are just speaking about the hospice to anybody, it's a great thing.
It's not how much we give, but how much love we put into giving. To learn more about ways in which you can help, do reach out to our Ganga Prem representatives. To know more, log in to www.gangapremhospice.org.
I kind of thought it was going to be sitting by bedsides playing a violin or something. It's not like that. It's real. It's real pain. It's real difficulty. And it's not just medical.